Hello, and welcome back for another Sims video. Today we're going to be going through the Pride Mansion that we started at the very end of June, on June 30th, the last day of our Trevor Project fundraiser. And I'm excited to go through this and show y'all what the end product looks like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we did this randomizer challenge where every room was going to be randomly selected as a Pride flag, and I'd have to base the color and style of the room off of the Pride flag that we got. Now, I did mean for this to be a speed build video, but it was just too much footage. It was going to take too long. It was going to be over an hour sped up, and I was just like, I can yap, but I don't know that I want to yap for that long about a build. So I'm just going to go through, give the tour of it, give some insights on what I was thinking, why I did what I did on some of it, because I know that a lot of you might not have all the packs that I use. I know sometimes I use a lot of packs. I know I get it. It's at least a nice way where you can see what it looks like if you're not able to download it. So this is the house in all its glory from the outside. You can see we have some fun vibes with especially the backyard. I'll go through it in a little more detail in just a second, but I did want to say that we randomly got gender fluid for the exterior of the home. So I'm going to make sure I put the flags. If you're not familiar with a lot of the different pride flags, we got a few that I had to Google and look up whenever we were doing this. But if you're not familiar, I at least have a reference so you can know like the color scheme that we're basing it off of. So with this one, we have like this pink color with a purple and a blue within white and black as neutral colors. So I think we get that right off the bat with the main part of the house being white and black with the blue columns. I thought that was really cool. If you're like, what column is that? It's actually a combination of two columns that I overlay. Now I do this sometimes in my builds because, you know, we're a bit limited with a lot of things when it comes to floors, ceilings, columns, and just generally wallpapers and paneling and things like that. So I try to find ways that I can like create new objects from objects we already have in the game. So the idea here was that on the front and the side, I wanted it to be a little bit simpler. I feel like less is more here, and I really tried. Y'all know how I am. So I wanted to do a lot more than what I have, but I think it's cute how it turned out. Since on this lot, we have 3 pathways that kind of go up to it. Well, technically 4 if you count the back. So this is in Ciudad. And of course, with the edge of the lot, it's going to look weird because they put dirt. Now, originally, there's actually the same type of grass, but it's a little bit different. So like, I can show y'all, this is what it like kind of looks like without this here. And you can see the grass actually changes. I found a swatch of the grass, but it's like a different orientation. So I was able to like cover the entire lot with that in order to make this look a bit better, where I overlay the stone paths and the dirt on top of it. Otherwise it would have just been a hot mess. But I wanted the purple to kind of be more in the flowers, like landscaping and maybe a couple of accents. So I mainly focused on blue, white, and pink and black for the outside. Now I do like this kind of Tudor style for the upstairs here. And then I just have like the concrete siding on the layers on the side of the house. Love putting some flowers up on there on the side. And then when we get to the back, now this is where it kind of got a little funky with a lot of different heights of floors and things like that, because I have it somewhat like a split level. It's not really, it's just like I was thinking the garage was an add-on to the house later that was built. So that's why it's a different level than the rest of the house. So I use a lot of terrain manipulation, but because of that, it gets a little tricky in the back. But I did put like this kind of sunken in hot tub in the pool area, but we have this step down right here, and then we have another step here to go from the path this way. Cute little area out back to cook, hang out, very great party space I was thinking. And then we have this really nice kind of covering for the back porch area. So I got some nice modern vibes. That's what I was going for the most part. And then we have like this little pergola that I built over here as well. So can hang out by the pool. You have your lights. So at nighttime, you can see the fairy lights here. We have this strand of lights too, which had the blue and purple. So that was a fun vibe to bring in. And then if you're wondering what this is an awning. That's from Desert Luxe Kit. So that was a really nice, useful object, I think, for the pergola. And I also kind of did one here as well. We do end up having like a baby and a toddler in this household, so I put some of that outside, like we put them down here to play when we're outside as well. And then over on the side here, we have more stairs and landscaping. I tried to match the landscaping around the world here, so that's why we have a lot of this type of landscaping that's incorporated onto the lot here as well. And then we'll get to what's in here later on whenever I show you all the room itself, but just a carport area, but we have the door right here. So a lot of different access points around this house. Like you have staircase here to the side, the front, and then you have this side entrance here, the back over here, and this other side. So all sorts of things. It was a big house. It is a big house. It's 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So it took a minute to do. Now, as we enter the foyer area, this is based off of the polysexual flag. Now, I did try to incorporate the flag from the game, and we were able to do that pretty much for almost every single room. So I have a tapestry or a flag, some reference to the actual flag in each room so you know what it's based off of. But this is the foyer space. It's a bit eclectic, obviously. It's a pretty colorful flag, so I did not hold back. You have this nice couch, table, candle, just typical foyer. If you're going to put something in here, it would be something like this. I put these rugs on top of one another just to make one big one. And then you have the staircase going up to the next floor there. But I honestly think the foyer is one of my favorite parts of the house. I think it's like a great way. Once you walk into the house, you know what you're getting into. And then next we have the dining space. So this one was based off of the Labrador lesbian flag. Now, essentially, just in a nutshell, not to get into it too much, it's more like a feminist aspect to the lesbian pride flag. It just is supposed to embody like this strength for feminism. So I think it's a really cool flag. I actually didn't know what this was. I had to Google this one, admittedly. We luckily had art by reference on the gallery. So thank y'all. Shout out to the people who put these pride flags up on the gallery because that came in handy. But this is our dining space. Very dark and moody. Obviously, it's just mainly purple, black, and white. So I went with this kind of cool Vampires wallpaper. I love these wallpapers from Vampire. The chairs are technically brown, but it's like such a dark color. It's fine. And I actually remembered to get a high chair. So that was a win in and of itself, because there have definitely been times when I put like a nursery for a baby or like something like that, and I forget to put the high chair in the dining space. I just thought the night was kind of a fun vibe. Next on the list is the living space. And this was based off of the intersex pride flag. I put this like reading nook. I love doing library nooks in my builds. I think they're really cute and just very functional as well. Now, if you notice in the flag, it's very simple, right? It's yellow with a purple ring. And so I wanted to put circular things as much as I could, just as a nod to the flag as well. So I have like the rounded rugs. I have the round table in here. And then I put this rug with the circles on it. I put the half circle rug over by the door in the back. This table, which is kind of like circular. You get the idea. I tried to incorporate the theme as much as I could, especially if it was just like more of a plain flag. But this is the vibe of the living space. Have our fireplace over there, seating, nice coffee table. Fun vibes with just a little accent table with some candles, plants, and then I used the refined living room kind of bookcase over here just to match the vibes. We had the bookcases over there, so just tried to bring them around. I originally was going to try and put a desk here, but it wasn't quite working out. It was a little bit tight with the chair sticking out as far as it does. Okay, so as we're coming off of the living room, I just noticed that some of the lights and stuff weren't rendering in, so I went back and fixed that, but this is what we have with the lighting up here as well. So really fun lightings, the spheres, circles, all of that fun stuff. Now we go to the hallway. Now I know it's just a hallway, but every room had to have a swatch, right? So this is our bisexual hallway. So this connects the kitchen to the bathroom and the living space, and then this hallway as well. And so very simplistic, but tried to get the color of the bisexual flag in here. This light fixture came in handy for so many rooms. I wouldn't be surprised if I use, if not every swatch, most swatches of that. We have some really fun swatches with that light. But just very simple though, have a rug, some lights, and then just some fun clutter. Again, we have a lot of kids, so I was thinking that would be something that you would picture in a household with a lot of kids, just with notes and things on it. And then as we get into the kitchen, this was based off of the genderqueer pride flag. So this is what we're looking like. It's a little different. The greens are a little weird in my game because I use reshade, and so the greens are the ones that are most affected by it. So if it looks a little funky, that's why. I'll turn it off for the rest of the video. But this is the kitchen space, which I think turned out really cute. I love this kind of minty green color with the purple a little bit and the tile there. I know it's not quite the same shade of green, but we're doing the best we can in this game. And then the new appliances from Restoration Workshop ended up coming in handy for this build as well. Just a nice little closed off kitchen though, which I don't do very often. So it was kind of nice to do something that is obviously in a lot of homes, especially more older homes. And I put some nice little clutter for the kids. So we have spilled cereal on the counter. We have the dirty dishes in the sink. And then as we head back out and we go into this space, we have the pansexual pride flag in here, and this is really fun. I love this flag. We actually did a micro cottage speed build with this, as well as a pool party lot, which was really fun with this same swatch as well. So I'll link both of those down below if you want to check those out. Now, this was obviously just a hallway, but again, trying to do as much as we can to make it more interesting. Put an accent table with some fun clutter up here. It's got some eclectic vibes to it, which I think was interesting to pair with laundry day. I have these light fixtures in here, as you can see. And then we ended up having the fun Pride clutter that we got just a few months ago with a base game update, the Pride collection. And then once we get used to this very colorful, fun hallway, we have to go over here into the office space. And so the office was based off of the demisexual flag, and so you can see that we don't have that one in the game, so I used this one as an alternative, and we do end up using this one later in the build. But this is a little preview for the office here. We have like a nice little music space over here, desk space. Now I remember in this one, this was a little bit of an interesting thing that happened in stream, because I was really itching to do something where it's a little catty cornered and like pushed over in the corner, as opposed to it being just straight lined up in front of the window or something like that. Some people weren't a fan of it. A lot of people were. I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. So I like that the desk is a little crooked and just set back into the corner like this. I think it adds some interest into the room, as opposed to it just being all straight and neat and orderly. Now, I did do something really funny on the stream where I ended up taking the Cordelia bust and put it on top of this. So, and it looked really funny, and I like got such a kick out of that. And then I put this gnome up here and Fernie the Fabulous, so that was kind of a fun nod that he's hiding in there. And then this just wraps us back around to the foyer area, so you can come right off of the foyer into here. So it's kind of funny that this office is right off of two really colorful spaces, because it's a lot more muted with just blacks and purples in here for the most part. And then we're gonna go back out here because I realized we didn't go to the bathroom. So the bathroom was actually based off of the main pride flag that we have, that everyone thinks of whenever we say pride flag. So extremely, extremely colorful and fun in here. And I actually just realized that the ceiling is messed up, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But I thought the elephant shower was really cute with the colors on it. Anything that was colorful went in here. And I'm gonna show y'all live, because I had a short pop off on YouTube about doing your ceilings. So this is where you do it: ceilings by tile, ceilings by room. You just click on that, and then you can see all of your ceilings everywhere. Now, if I remember correctly, I actually had this as red at the top. So that's what that should be. So I'm gonna save. Yeah, there we go. So that is what the bathroom should look like. But really cute. I feel like I love this. I love the chaos whenever we do things like this and it's like all rainbow. It's like, how are you gonna split up the colors? Because you need every color, but how are you gonna do it in a way that makes it not seem, completely chaotic? Although this still seems completely chaotic. And then we're gonna go back down this hall. So the first room on the left here is for a toddler, and we don't have a polyamory flag in the game. So I just combined these two pride flags to get the colors at least, but we have like this pink, yellow, blue, and purple combination. So really fun color vibes. And Enchanted by Nature had just come out after I started this. So I was like, oh, let's start over. This is not what I started with this bedroom, but we had such fun things from that. I was like, I have to do that. So I kind of went in and did an Enchanted by Nature themed bedroom for the toddler, and it kind of matches really well with some of the Love Struck stuff that we have. So this is the vibe for in here. Really, really cute. I feel like it turned out really well. Like I said, when I first started working on this, it was toward the end of a stream. I was really struggling. I had like 3 or 4 beds pulled. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to go with because there's just so many colors, and it's like, how do you balance all 4 of these main colors in a way to where it doesn't quite feel overwhelming? So this is what I chose to do with it. I hope y'all like it. And then as we come back out to the hallway, we have another bedroom at the end of the hall here for a teenager. And now this is the Philadelphia pride flag. So we have kind of the typical pride flag, but then we have like the black and brown stripes on there. So this room, I ended up doing more of the black and brown with the walls, the ceilings, and like the bed frame, just to bring in those colors. They were nice neutral colors to have in the room. And then I went kind of all out with the colors everywhere else and tried to balance them in such a way. But I was very intentional of getting every color of the rainbow in this room and some type of light, because the wallpaper actually doesn't have purple. So that was kind of one of the big issues with the wallpaper and trying to rely on that, was how I'm going to get purple. So that's why I went with this gamer bed a little bit, and why I wanted the bed to be the main thing with purple, because we don't really get purple anywhere else in this room. But this is a fun vibe. I was just picturing like some type of teenage gamer or something in here. And then they have their own ensuite bathroom. And then if I remember correctly, this is the Straight Ally pride flag. I really am trying to, like, this is a couple months old, so I'm trying to remember everything. So this is what we did for in here, though. It's basically all the pride colors, but with black and white. So I put the stripes on the floor down here. I thought that was more of the vibe to bring that in. Again, I didn't want to just focus on colors. I tried to bring in like certain stylistic elements or the design elements from the flag as much as I could. And then everything else is just kind of like rainbow. Now, see, when you look at this, you wouldn't think like, oh, every color of the rainbow is in here. It is colorful, but you don't get pride like screaming at you in this one, even though it's like the other bathroom too was rainbow, but that one was definitely like pride screaming at you. But I think this is a really cool vibe. I love these toilets. I love these from City Living. They're so nice. And that is the entire bottom floor of this. So as we come back to our foyer area, so as we come up from the foyer, we have our landing here, and this is based on the aromantic pride flag. So blacks, grays with greens. It's like two colors of green, and I tried to bring some contrast where there's like a darker one and a lighter one. But we have this like little seating area here. There's a door to the bathroom off of that, and then we have a bookcase. So if you want to grab a book, sit down, read, you can do that here. And then we have a fun little area over here with the kids stuff. Now this is the nursery, and then this is a toddler bedroom. So I was thinking like maybe this was the toddler's shoes and we framed them, or maybe we're saving them to use for the baby in here as hand-me-downs. I thought it would be a fun story to have that here by these two rooms, since this is where the youngest kids are. And then we have like just some nice abstract art on the wall over here as we go over to the bathroom. Like I said, I use this light fixture in so many places, all over the place. And then this bathroom is based off of the asexual pride flag. So keep in mind, aromantic, asexual, they're different. So this is what we did in here. Now, just keeping in mind too, the kids are up here. Now, granted, we would want them to use the bathtub. That's probably downstairs, but I thought it'd be cute to have some fun decals that I never use. And so I put this in here, which I just think having the narwhal is just a vibe in and of itself. With this flooring is fun. I used some of the fun swatches of like the bathroom set in here with the black and purple. So really cute and fun vibes, I think. Even though it's like such a dark mood and aesthetic, I think the kid aspect kind of still gets across a little bit. It has a playful mood to it, I feel like. So that's what I did for this little bathroom here. And then one that was a fun little curveball was the Butch Lesbian Pride flag. If you're new here, I love the Lesbian Pride flag. And it's one of my favorite flags. I feel like just the colors of it are so much fun. But with the Butch Lesbian Pride flag, you get a lot of these different orange tones, whereas the Lesbian Pride flag has a lot more of like pink colors with it. So we don't have the Butch Lesbian Pride flag in the game. So I put the Lesbian Pride flag up here, but I did try to keep to the actual flag that we got. So it's lots of orange tones with white and then a couple of brown colors. I thought this wallpaper from Lovestruck actually matched pretty well for the color scheme that we had. And then I just put like a lot of fun cutesy things from Pastel Pop Kit. That came in handy a lot. The Enchanted by Nature stuff came in handy. And then we have like more of the baby stuff over here with the changing table, the crib, the fun little mobile, the lights. I think all of it came together a good bit. I was trying to find a theme a little bit with the hot air balloons and the clouds and such, but just like kind of more fantastical things in here. And then we have the rocking chair, you know, for when you want to read. I think it turned out pretty okay with this. It was a little bit tricky. Combining the Storybook Nursery Kit, I think ended up working out okay. It was an interesting vibe though. This turned out to be a fun room, I think. This one was like very much a curveball though. I remember in stream, I was struggling to get started with this one a good bit because it's an interesting color palette when you really think about it. And then the next one we got was the Colorado Pride flag. And for it being the Colorado Pride flag, obviously it's like a rainbow pride flag, but then it also has like an emphasis on blue and white. So I wanted to bring that in. And then I wanted this mountain looking, like the peaks on the wallpaper made me think of the mountains. So like Colorado has a lot of mountains. So I was just like trying to tie that in a good bit. And same with this, it had like the triangular shapes on it and it made me think of mountains. So I put that there as an accent wall. This one was a really fun room to do. And it's like a really fun like space in general for the size and shape of it. So we have all sorts of nice little nooks and crannies, but we have like an area where you could watch TV. This kid has it all. It has books, all sorts of things. You can like sit down or lie down on the floor, watch TV, whatever. A crafting table of sorts, lots of games and clothes over here. And then you have more stuff over here all over the wall, the fun artwork, games, a little potty. So I like the little race car bed as well. I thought that was really cute. Just all the mismatched stuff. I don't know, whenever I was growing up, I had a lot of mismatched stuff as well. So I just think for kids' bedrooms, it's such a vibe to have mismatched things and put all sorts of wall decals and things like that on the wall. So this turned out to be a really fun space, I think. So as we come back out to the landing, we'll go into the final part of the house, which is the primary bedroom and bathroom ensuite. So once we come in here, you can see lots of black and green tones. So this one is based on the demi-romantic pride flag, which is a black triangle with the green stripe in the middle with whites and grays. So we don't have that one in the game, so I still just put this one here as a reference for the color scheme. But this is what we have going on in the primary bedroom, which turned out to be one of my favorite rooms to do as well. I love it whenever I'm able to put like a big bed on a platform in a room. It makes it feel really grand. And so I put the columns and I put the spandrels around it. Now, this is another area where I like stacked columns up, and I'll show you all that in just a second. The columns are clipping in here. Those are on the outside of the wall, but they do some funkiness sometimes where they clip on the inside. So it is what it is, but just ignore that. We have a little seating chair over here, and then a desk area that's kind of separated off with the partition. We have a little hutch by the door so you can put your keys, whatever there, some books. We obviously like books. We have them all over the house. And then I put Phil. If you're not familiar with Phil is this plant we got, Phil the philodendron, in the game. It came with Sleep Bathroom Kit, and I put it on the head here. I just thought it was funny to put on the statue like it was hair. And at the time, I think I might have been slightly delusional in the stream, so I just thought it was a fun vibe to do that, and I did it. So that's the story there. Not much to it other than I just wanted to. I felt like it. But this is the vibes that we have in this bedroom space. And then I love to do kind of like what looks like custom lighting. And I'll take some fixtures sometimes and put them at different sizes and cluster them to make it look like one big fixture. And that's what I did over the bed there with that one. And then I'll go ahead and show you the balcony. Just keep in mind the balcony is based off of the exterior. So that goes back to the gender fluid pride flag that we had at the start. But I just put a flower arranging table out here. We have the workout, yoga stuff, meditation stool, telescope, bonsai tree. And I just thought that went in line. I had like the other workout equipment in here. So I was like, maybe we carry this basket inside and outside. We work out here, but we bring it back in sometimes. So I don't know. I just thought that kind of went well together. And then the last room of the house I'm going to show you is the bathroom. Now this bathroom was based on the agender pride flag, which is funny because it actually goes with the bedroom in here really well with the color scheme. So we have lots of pride flags that are like blacks and greens, which is really funny. And so this is what I did in here. It kind of gives me relaxing vibes, even though it's black primarily. I still get like a sense of calmness from the green. But this is what we did in here. It's like kind of spa-like in a way. I did the fun Enchanted by Nature shower just to do something different because I used the wallpaper from that as well with the glass. I just think that's really pretty. And then just some nice fun clutter on the wall over here. We have the plant pictures and then a squat toilet just for fun vibes as well. But that's pretty much the bathroom in a nutshell. And then I'll show y'all from the top down. This is what it looks like. And then these are from Werewolves. So I have these columns with the ones from For Rent. So I stacked those, again, just coming up with combinations. This is the same column I did for the exterior, except I used the green swatch. So you'll notice that it's the same as this, those same two columns. I love doing stuff like that. I think it's fun to find creative ways to create new objects in the game. I've done several other types of things, not just columns, but like I've actually created tables and stuff like that. I even did a sofa one time where I used an accent table for armchairs. So it's just like really fun to come up with creative ideas for that. But this is what it looks like from the top down, and then same for down here. Now the last one I didn't show y'all yet was the garage outside. So again, the entrance is on the back side of this, and it's based on the Two-Spirit pride flag. So I put that right there over the window. And I wanted to use the Restoration Workshop stuff so much because I hadn't really used it much other than the appliances. So I was like, I'm gonna put a workshop in this build. Again, purple was a little bit troublesome, so I put the Dreamcatcher here. I put this rug down there to bring in more of the purple, and we did at least have like a kind of periwinkle type purple in here, so I was able to use that one for the oven as well. But purple's hard. It's funny because we do have a lot of like purple furniture, but like obviously I don't need necessarily a couch in here. I could have put a couch, but I don't know. Just I wanted it to still make sense with what I was putting in here. Put a lot of cute little like tools and things over here. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. That was a placeholder so I could put it up there. I think this turned out really cute. I love the vibe of it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear like which room was your favorite, or like which pride flags are your favorite based on the colors in them, anything to do with any of this. I put this on the gallery as pride flag home. It does use a lot of packs. I feel like I always say sorry, and I really do mean it. I'm sorry. Thanks for being patient with me to get this out. Like I said, it's been a minute. I still have a couple more builds to catch up on that we've technically finished on stream, but I just need to do some final touches and I'll put those out. I want to quickly say thanks for all of your support with the move that I just did. Everything's been hectic for me the past couple of months with prepping for that and then actually doing it and getting settled into my new place here. So I appreciate the support. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for hanging out on the streams. If you want to join over on Twitch, I'd love to have you join in on the streams we do over there. And then I have a link to the Discord down below as well if you want to keep up in between uploads and see how everyone's doing in there. We like to support one another in a lot of different ways. And special thanks and shout out to my Soul supporters. And then if you'd like to catch my last tour video, which was of a huge townhome lot, then you can check that out over here. And with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye. I will say that this was really fun to like work with colors and color combinations that you usually don't work with. So I highly recommend it if you want to like break out of your shell a little bit.